An athlete's resting heart rate can sit at 40 beats a minute. That number in anyone else would mean a trip to the emergency room. Most people assume training just makes the heart more efficient. That word doesn't explain anything. It doesn't say what actually changed inside the chest. Training doesn't make the heart efficient. It makes the heart bigger. The left ventricle, the chamber that does the real pumping work, stretches and thickens after months of endurance training. Doctors call this cardiac hypertrophy. You can see it on an ultrasound. A bigger chamber holds more blood before it contracts. More blood in means more blood out with each beat. That's stroke volume, the amount your heart pushes out in one squeeze. Same job, fewer beats. Picture two moving companies serving the same office building. One runs a fleet of small vans, driving back and forth all day to move the furniture. The other built a bigger garage and parked one large cargo truck inside it. The truck moves the same furniture in a third of the trips. Nobody trained the driver to work faster. They changed the size of the vehicle. An athlete's heart is the cargo truck. The chamber grew. Each beat carries more blood. The whole system needs fewer runs to move the same total volume through your body every minute. But the bigger chamber is only half the story. There's a second change happening at the same time, and it's not in the heart muscle at all. It's in the nerve that talks to the heart. That nerve is the vagus nerve. It's a long cable running from your brain down to your chest. It carries a signal that tells your heart's natural pacemaker to slow down. In a trained endurance athlete, that signal gets stronger. Doctors call this higher vagal tone. The brake on the pacemaker gets pressed harder all day, even at rest. So you get two effects stacking on top of each other: a bigger pump moving more blood per beat, and a stronger brake holding the beat count down. That combination is what gets a resting heart rate down into the 40s, sometimes even the 30s in elite cyclists and rowers. This is not the same thing as a weak heart pumping less. A failing heart can also show a low number, but for the opposite reason. It can't squeeze hard enough, so blood backs up behind it. An athlete's heart squeezes harder than average. It just doesn't need to fire as often to keep up. Doctors have a name for this pattern: athletic heart syndrome. On a chart, it looks alarming. An enlarged heart paired with a slow pulse. Those two findings usually point to disease. In an endurance athlete, they point to years of training, the exact same numbers. Opposite meaning. Here's the part that surprises people. Stop that training for a few years, and the heart doesn't stay enlarged. It shrinks back toward normal size over months, and the resting rate climbs back up with it. The size was never a fixed trait. It was a response to demand. Remove the demand, and the heart stops building for it. Try to force that same low number onto an untrained body, and you get a different story entirely. A sedentary person with a 40 beats per minute pulse is usually dizzy, short of breath, and headed for a cardiologist. Same reading, completely different heart behind it. There's a real-world extreme that shows how far this can go. Miguel Indurain, a 5-time Tour de France winner, had a resting heart rate reported around 28 beats a minute during his career. His heart wasn't failing. It was running at the far end of the same adaptation everyone else builds a smaller version of. None of this means a slow pulse is automatically a sign of fitness. Some people are born with naturally slower pacemakers, and some slow readings come from medication, not muscle. The number alone never tells the whole story. The context around it does. That's why doctors don't just glance at the resting rate. They look at how it responds to exercise, how quickly it recovers afterward, and what the heart structure actually looks like on a scan. A slow pulse on a hospital monitor and a slow pulse on a marathoner's fitness watch can look identical on the screen. They mean almost nothing alike. One is a heart straining to keep up. The other is a heart that outgrew the need to rush. That 40 beats per minute number on an athlete's smartwatch isn't a weaker heart working less. It's a bigger, deliberately built heart, proving it doesn't have to work as often. If this surprised you, subscribe. We post a new body mystery every day.